This is Anderson Penn's podcast, episode 158 for Tuesday, July 7th, 2015. This is Brian.
This is Lisa.
I had to check that it was the right date. This is the Anderson Penn's radio network.
Cool. It's kind of fun to have a radio network.
It's like a radio network. It's not really a network. It's just really, it's not really a radio, but it's fun to say.
It's not like TV.
No, well, it's sort of not like TV.
You know, I worked on radio when I was young.
Did you really?
I did. I was a mass comm major briefly, and came home and worked at the local radio station. I was on the 2 a.m. to like noon shift. I've told you those stories. I had to call the old farmer. A bridge washed out, and we had to call him. The government took part of his land to build the bridge on the thruway, and we'd call him up, and Walt Dufel. Never forget that man.
Can you give us your best radio voice?
No. No. Nope, no radio voice. No radio voice for you. But yeah, so I think about that every time you say that. I'm like, oh, WIZR. So there you go.
WINK. That's what we are. There it is.
There you go. Nice.
WINK.
Nice. All right, there we go.
What do you want to talk about tonight?
You know, I think we're going to mix things up. I think you should show off your birthday pen.
Yeah, so we decided, I guess, last week we weren't going to have a podcast, kind of at the last minute. So apologize for that.
Sometimes things just take over. Life takes over. Wasn't it your birthday on the day?
No, it was the day after my birthday.
Okay.
My birthday was on Monday.
Oh, so you were still playing with your
last week for the 15th time. So. No, so yeah, we've been working on a bunch of stuff lately, and quite frankly, by the time we get to Tuesday, we're already
we're pretty fried.
Pretty well fried. So we decided to take last week off, and I think it works out.
It was nice.
Yeah. Anyway, I guess Monday was my birthday, last Monday, and I've been waiting for this pen for a long time. I've talked about it. And then
I tortured you with it.
You did, yeah. So we, for those that aren't familiar with the story, I'll just tell it briefly again. This right here is the Sailor Progear Regency stripe. It's a full-size Progear, 21 karat nib, but it has this cool metal overlay on the barrel. Really, really classy looking pen. Super. It's got some weight to it, and I wanted one when I saw it in the catalog, and actually it was in the catalog last year, and I saw it, and I didn't think that I didn't want to venture down the path to order it, but in February when we met with Jin Takamura and Larry Keok from Atoya, I decided it was time to get the pen, and we asked if it was available, and they said it was discontinued. And apparently it's too heavy.
Hold it up again, because some of the guys in the chat are still drooling.
Okay, so here it is. It's got a nice overlay on the barrel.
Which makes it too heavy for the Japanese.
Yeah, rhodium, the rhodium trim, nice silverish trim. And what's really cool is it has a little step here. I don't know if you can see this. There's a little step here between that's the last part of the overlay, and then that sits underneath the cap. And so when the cap screws down, it butts right up against this part of the overlay. It's really neat. So it's hard to see, but if you see me at a show, just ask me because I'm going to have it. It's a cool pen. But anyway,
let people touch it?
Well, yeah, absolutely. You betcha.
Oh, okay.
Larry said the pen was discontinued. They had none. And then we got a 2015 price list from Sailor, and it was there again. So Lisa just ordered the pen. She just ordered the pen. My preferred nib choice on Sailors is usually a broad, so she just ordered it, and And it showed up.
Ta-da!
So,
But
and that
it
was
showed up, what, before Father's Day?
yeah.
So you have had to wait for this for weeks.
It came in May.
Oh, yeah, it's been... So you had to wait a month?
Yeah, because it was before we
Wow,
got the
I'm
car.
cruel.
So, but anyway. Yeah,
So wait, so in 1 month you got a Corvette and a Sailor Regency stripe? I think you're done with gifts for the year.
yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
And technically, I got the Franklin Christoph 13th envelope too for Father's Day. So.
That's right. Yeah, you are totally set.
Yeah, it was a great month. I love June. No, but it's a great pen. It's got some nice heft to it, which is different than most Sailors, obviously. So, cool pen, and hopefully we're gonna be getting some more in. But yeah, real pleased. It's been in my pocket ever since. I actually took the Mont Blanc and put it. I had the 149/90th, and I put that back in the pen case, my pen envelope. So anyway, there it is. So speaking of giving pens as gifts.
Well, we thought about this last week and decided that Brian probably wouldn't want to let go of his Regency stripe long enough to talk during the podcast. So we were thinking about gift giving in general because my birthday is at the end of this month, and we were talking, what would we do if we didn't have a pen store and access to almost any pen we wanted? And don't misunderstand, we don't go crazy with pens. It's, like 3 or 4 holidays a year and that's it. Everything goes back into the business. But if we didn't have that availability, I'm not sure what we would do. And, when I was little, my mom and I would get out, like the JCPenney catalog or whatever, and, circle things and turn down the pages, and, I would go through, and that way she would know what I wanted, or, whatever. I don't know what we would do if we didn't have that available to us. How would I know?
I'm so glad I made that convenient for you.
How would I know what you want?
Yeah, you just tell me to get whatever.
Well, so, my birthday is going to be more difficult for you.
It is. Absolutely is going to be difficult.
No black balloons.
Oh, no, don't worry about that.
No big...
But what comes around goes around, so I'm just going to shut up about that.
Nice. So we decided that maybe we should discuss giving pens as gifts. We have people who come into the store all the time looking for a gift. After 157 podcasts, I'm sure that we have covered some of this before, probably.
Probably, but we have a little different perspective now, I think. Everything, perspective is completely different now that we have a store. Everything is different. You see more people, or everybody gives a different perspective to everything, so everything is different, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So,
what the first bit of advice is just because you like fountain pens doesn't mean they will.
I know this is the biggest shocker.
That's the first thing I ask people. They're like, "Oh, I want to get them a nice fountain pen." I said, first thing I ask is, do they use fountain pens? Do they like them? Have they ever used one before? Because what I see happen a lot of times is people get the pen. Oh, that's so nice. Thank you for giving this to me. And it goes right in the drawer. They don't use it. Or maybe they use the cartridge up and that's it.
When you give a gift, you should think about the recipient, not what you want. We have a girl who comes into the store and she can never decide what to give her parents because she ends up buying what she wants. And I don't think she ends up sending the packages to her parents. I think she keeps them.
Well, when she gets around to getting those gifts, it's going to be awesome.
Yeah. So just because you like a fountain pen, the person receiving the pen may not like it. So number one, consider that. Sadly, and I know it's sacrilegious. I know it's just blasphemy to say that, but not everybody wants to use a fountain pen. So if that's the case, there are options, and they're pretty good options. But if you think that somebody does like a fountain pen, or you want to maybe get them into fountain pens, there are quite a few good newbie options. Besides, you know, a Jinhao or a Hero or whatever, something cheap, go for something a little better.
Right. And well, what would those newbie options be?
Well, we usually in the store start people out and show them a Schaefer 100. Good, solid, dependable pen made by a very well-known company. Good feel, good price. It's a good place to start. Dependable writer. Hard to go wrong with a Schaefer.
I think the thing about Schaefer is Schaefer doesn't feel cheap.
Right.
You know, some pens you pick up and they're especially if the person's not a fountain pen person, some people see a light pen and they think it's cheap, which is not necessarily the case. You know, your Japanese pens are traditionally lighter, but a nice solid pen like a Schaefer 100 it's got some weight to it. It's something that non-fountain pen users can relate to because you know a lot of people like a heavy pen. Yep.
Or heavier, not necessarily
heavier.
heavy.
Not necessarily heavy. Yeah, not to say that it's a heavy pen. It's you know, a preppy or something like that.
From there, you can go, you know, up or down. Metropolitan by Pilot, excellent option. Really good value. $15. You get the pen, the cartridge, the converter. You've got finer medium options, so you know you've got more than enough choices, and you're not going to spend a lot of money just in case they don't like it.
Yep.
A couple that you like, Mr. Anderson.
I like the Faber Castell. I think it's a nice, again, a nice solid pen. In particular, the loom is a little more pocket size. Or the big one that you don't like that is probably the most popular is the basic in carbon. It's a nice looking pen, especially for men. It's an attractive pen. You get nib options there too. Extra fine, fine, mediums, broads even. So you got a whole gamut that you can run there. And the Kaweco Sport, it's just hard to beat. A nice little pocket pen. You know, depending on where your gift budget lies, that's a good pen you can get it without a clip. You know, things like that.
And some of the newbie pens or the recommendations, you'll notice none of these are piston. If this person is a brand new to fountain pens recipient, don't confuse them with bottled only.
Yeah. Skip the. You know, there's something to be said for, you know, a Saturday morning ritual of cleaning your pen and then deciding which ink you're going to use and filling it up and polishing and going through that whole ritual. But for a new person, you just want them to be able to put a cartridge in and go. You want to get them hooked first, and then you can get them hooked on the ink and the converter and the piston and all that stuff later. That's just usually that's the best course of action, unless you're going to sit down with them and show it. But I still think it's better to go with a non-self filler first.
Keep it simple. Let them gain some confidence and experience. So then we break into, and talk about nibs for a little bit first, though. When you're choosing a nib, it's kind of interesting to see people who come in and, again, with choosing a pen, they choose what they like, and a broad or an extra fine is not your safest choice.
Yeah, I understand where some people are coming from. I've seen this recommended a lot before. Some people say that is giving a gift, the pen should be extra fine, and I disagree with that. If anything, I think the pen should be broader than finer. So starting with the medium, solely because the bigger the tipping on the pen, the bigger the sweet spot is, so to speak, the smoother the pen's going to feel, the better the experience. You give them an extra fine or a fine nib, and if they don't know how to hold the pen properly, and they rotate the pen just slightly, it's going to feel scratchy. And who's going to want to continue spending money on a hobby and getting ink and doing all that if the first experience is scratchy? So I recommend going with the medium unless they have some idea, they've used it before, they really know that the fine nib is what this person should have.
Agreed.
Smoother, you want them to get that smooth writing experience. So.
And then, I hate to break it to you, 16 minutes in, rollerball alert.
Ta-da! Here's one. I have one on my desk. This is it right here.
There you go. There are a number of good options if the person you are giving a present to maybe isn't a fountain pen person or you're not sure. Give them a nice ballpoint or rollerball. You're still gifting them with something of quality, something of substance, and it's something that they're going to use and think of you often. So it's still win-win.
Yeah.
And there are a number of really good brands of rollerballs and ballpoints.
Right, because some people who are non-fountain pen users, they would consider a gift of a fountain pen to be something that's going to sit on the desk when you either write letters, which most people don't do, or you write your checks out, which most people don't do anymore. So it's going to be a desk pen. But if you do give a rollerball a ballpoint, that's something they can put in their pocket. They can take it to work. They can put it in their briefcase, their purse. They can actually use it. And if they're used to using rollerballs and ballpoints, then, it's a win-win. So, what do we have for options there? I mean, this is the obvious option right here, I think, is a good pen.
What do you have in your hand?
It's a Retro 51.
Yes. I have a couple of them in my purse.
You've got like a ridiculously large collection of retros.
I have like 3. I have the one they gave me. I have the Peace, Love, and Happiness. And I will soon have the 25th anniversary.
Wow.
So 3, that's it. Retro 51 is an awesome gift. They make cap actuated, they make twist, you can get them in a metal body, like Brian's. You've got enamel over brass, you've got some really cool colors, all sorts of great options. The new one, that they have a seasonal one that comes out several times a year. Those are very cool if you can grab them before they're sold out. So just really good options with Retro 51. We sell a ton of those in the store.
What else?
Schaefer 300, rollerballs and ballpoints. Awesome, awesome gift.
Yeah, and the 300 is a substantial. It's a bigger size pen, a little bit bigger than the 100. There's 100 rollerballs and ballpoints too, but 300 is just a nice looking, especially if you have someone who wears a nice shirt or a shirt and tie, or has to, something other than a casual, environment. It looks nice in your pocket. It looks worthy of, of a nicer, office job kind of thing. What else? We've got Karen Dosh makes some nice ballpoints and rollerballs.
They do. Again, a good quality feel, a little bit more substantial in the hand, weight-wise, not necessarily girth-wise.
Some of them, not necessarily the 849s. They're a little bit thinner, but the other ones that they have are bigger.
But even the thinner ones still have a little bit of weight to them. So those are great. And we sell quite a few of the speed ballpoints. especially if you are looking for a retirement gift or a gift for someone who might be a little older, who perhaps has arthritis or carpal tunnel. The Speed is a bigger, fatter pen, so you don't have to grip it quite as hard since it's not skinny. We sell a bunch of those, and it's got, you know, the awesome cap actuator. The entire top half of the pen moves, which is just fun and very easy. There's no twisting, there's no gripping, nothing difficult about it.
One-handed action.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
I have three. I do. I like them.
You got the green one, the blue one, and what's the other one?
I have 2 blues and a green.
You get 2 blues.
I do.
They're different blues?
Yes, a turquoise and a navy, and then the green.
Oh, I suppose. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh no, I've had that forever, honey.
Yeah, I've had that forever. All right, yeah.
So those are some options. The other thing to not forget is once you've got the pen, buy the person either a bottle of ink or an extra set of cartridges, the converter, and maybe some paper. That way, give them the whole package so you've got them set for success. You've got the ink, the pen, the paper. All good stuff. They'll have a good experience.
Yeah.
So I think that means I ripped you off. I just got you a pen.
You just got me a pen. Jeez. Holy smokes.
You want a paper blank journal?
No, you got me a journal today. Or not? I have a paper blank journal, thanks.
I know.
Anyway. Yeah, you know, and the nice thing too about if you're going with a rollerball or ballpoint as a gift, most of those do have matching fountain pens. So if they decide that they want to move up to a fountain pen and you give them a 300, 100, whatever, they can essentially have a set, which is kind of nice. So, or they can get the other piece that they did get. They got the rollerball and maybe they want a ballpoint too or something like that. So,
yep.
So lots of options. So that's kind of
little gift giving 101.
Yep. We already covered.
This then leads into what are you going to choose for my birthday present?
I have your birthday present picked out, actually.
Do you?
I do.
Is it in the store?
No, it is not.
Is it on the way?
Nope, it is not.
What country is it coming from?
It's coming from the United States.
Okay. What state?
I have no idea. I don't know.
Well, what company is it coming from? And I can tell you what state.
Well, now, if I told you what company it was coming from, you would know.
So it's not an Aurora or an Omas because you know that those come from New York.
I was going to give you the Aurora.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
We're going to talk about that. You have it in your hands. I bought that for our anniversary, and it didn't come.
I know, but you know what I got instead was just as awesome, if not more. So
you got 2 pens instead.
I got 2, so that was great. Yep.
So.
So what else is left?
We should mention the Sailor.
Yes.
Promotion. We received notice in June. Now, late June, yeah. If you caught up with the blog and we mentioned it, there's a really cool promotion going on in the spring. Hang on. Lisa's holding up the brochure here that you can see actually on the blog. In the spring, Sailor came out with a new line of inks called Storia. And these are 8 different pigmented inks based around a circus theme. So some of the colors there's fire, there's
fire red, dancer pink, night blue, magic purple, balloon green, clown yellow green, spotlight yellow, and lion light brown.
Okay, and so they come in a cool kind of a frosted bottle. They've got the same internal inkwell that the Gentle inks have, and then they come in even the packaging is cool. It's this little brown. Lisa's holding up a little brown cardboard round tube with a really neat little label on it. And then I think they're wrapped inside, aren't they?
Yeah, they've got just a little bit of paper.
Little paper wrapped around the bottle. And
it's frosted glass. It's really cute.
Yeah. And then what's really neat is on the top, if you show the top of the cap, each color has the color name on the top of the cap. So this one says green, so this must be the green.
Balloon.
Balloon. Is that what it says?
Balloon green.
Balloon green, okay. And then it's got the little big top.
Which is cute. Picture
of a big top on it. So they're pigmented inks. They're designed to be mixed together, right? Is that the idea?
They can be mixed together with each other. Not necessarily recommended to mix outside of the Storia line.
Yep.
But yeah, they're a great little bottle. I like that they're frosted. That's different.
And these are what's the milliliter on this?
30 mil.
30 mil. So it's a smaller bottle, but it's a nice bottle. Okay, so now all that being said, these were released in, I believe, April. Not in the U.S., but from July 1st through July 15th, any purchase of a Sailor pen that is currently in stock at your authorized retailer, which would be us, or in stock at the U.S. distributor in Itoya. Special orders don't count.
Right.
You get your choice of one of the 8 new Storia inks. So there's a little mail-in form, and you send it in. You got to give your first, second, and third choices,
yeah.
And then
just send in the form, mark off which inks you want. Now they do require that you send in a proof of purchase. So for us, for example, we're just sending a second copy of the invoice stapled to all of this information, so you have everything together. And it's a fun promo. You buy a pen, you
get some ink.
You were considering anyway, and you get a free bottle of ink that you can't get right
anywhere
yet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can't quite get it
yet.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that. So anyway, that runs until July 15th, or until supplies.
While supplies last.
While supplies last.
Yeah. But it's a great, cute little bottle. The colors are pretty. I just swabbed them this afternoon. I'm not sure how we'll figure out how to put those up.
Yep.
Maybe in a blog post.
Yeah,
but,
figure something
out. They're not quite as bright and dye intensive as a Noodler's or Private Reserve. They're a little bit more, I don't want to say muted and subdued. That's the wrong way to look at it. But they're pretty. They're pretty. They're very interesting. So when I was doing the ink swabs, I was having a little fun with it.
Yeah. So the question was just asked in the chat: are they sending them out right away, or is a release date? No. When you mail in your form, they send you a bottle of ink. So they have a very limited number of bottles of Storia ink that they're using for this promotion only.
Yes.
So.
They only received X many of each color, and once they're out, that's why you've got a first, second, third choice of colors. Some of the colors obviously will be more popular. I'm told the night blue, magic purple, and the balloon green are probably the most popular. So if those are your 3 choices, you may end up with your third choice, depending on how fast some of the others sold. But they're cool. I really do like the bottle. I might have to have one on my desk.
All right, so that kind of rolls right into. I just ignored that.
Just okay.
Because you're going to get it anyway, so.
Well, maybe.
that rolls right into what else is going on the web. A couple things. First off, I'm pretty sure we mentioned this, but I can't be certain. I do have a Stresemann M805. This beautiful piece of German engineering. Do have one of these in stock. If you're interested, let me know.
Please, before it ends up in his pocket.
This pen actually, I ordered for myself. But the rule is if it's in the case, it's for sale. So it's been in the case for a while because I really wanted the Regency stripe. So, but we do have a Stresemann with a fine nib. And you have, I believe, what?
I have an awfully pretty pen here.
Go ahead.
The Aurora Optimal 365.
Look at that. What are those colors?
Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous.
It's like a fall colored pen.
Yeah, it is.
Like brown and
black and kind of a gold or a lighter brown. Absolutely beautiful. And of course that beautiful ink window, which I love, and the nib. What's not to love about that nib?
18 karat, I'm assuming, on that one. I haven't even seen it much.
Hang on, I gotta switch glasses for that. 18 karat.
Yep, there we go.
Absolutely gorgeous. We ended up with 2 of those. According to Kenro, they are completely sold out. Absolutely gone.
Yeah.
So if you want one, we have them.
Yep.
And please, because it will end up in my pen case.
Yep, and it's definitely a limited edition. You know, there's only 365. So, so we have that, and
you know, it's been really stressful at the store this past week.
Well, yeah, because everybody was on vacation.
So it's just me all alone.
Dave was on vacation all week.
Dave was on vacation Tuesday through
Tuesday.
Monday. Yeah. Emily was gone all last week. Lindsay's been gone. Garrett was there part-time. It was a little unnerving.
Wow.
I'm glad everybody's back. You like what? Oh, I know what you're looking at.
So we got another. This next thing that we got in the store, and this is on the web, and I'm gonna have some pictures up probably tonight or tomorrow. It's a little different.
It's awesome.
I took a picture of a different box. This is the Cross Peerless 125 125th anniversary. It's really something of a pen, and we have the picture I posted on Instagram. We actually have a nib kit for these pens. This is a substantial pen. I don't know if you can see this. This is like a rhodium chased platinum. I'm sorry. There we go. Platinum chased with gold trim. It's a substantial pen. Screw cap, but then it has a little knob on the end of the barrel, and then it just sets
posts
on there.
Well.
It posts on there, so it doesn't come up. But it's a big pen. Having a hard time finding the middle of my screen here. But the best part about this pen, absolute best part about this pen, aside from the 18 karat nib, is the nibs are made by Sailor. And when you look at it, you can tell. You know it's a Sailor nib just because the profile of the nib, and you can see it in person. They come in extra fine, medium, broad, and zoom nibs. And I believe we have a kit so we can make any nib option, but they come in a platinum with gold. There's an all platinum, and then there's a black with platinum trim. But it's a big pen, and I don't have my, let's see, I don't have my 149 handy here. What else do I have? Here's a full size. I guess by comparison, this is a full size Schaefer Balance. you can kind of see the. Actually, this is an oversized. Actually, is what that is. So it's about the same size as an oversized balance, but bigger. The cap is bigger. So cool pen. They come in a great box, and they come with this little pen rest. So
Yeah, it's cool.
yeah. So those are in. Those are cool. And like I said, you can get your nib choice on those, which is neat.
It's a significantly big, heavy, well-balanced pen. But there's not much in a metal pen that size. You've got your Montblanc 149, you've got your Sailor King of Pen, but there aren't that many metal pens, and we were impressed when we saw them.
Yeah, it's to answer a question in the chat, the Peerless is the biggest pen in the Cross lineup. It's bigger than the Townsend. It's a substantial pen, and it really, you know, like you say, it fits. It's kind of in between. It fits in a different niche than you know, than other pens in its price range. So, and with the Sailor nib, it's just yeah. I don't know. It's
Jonathan
nice.
had a comment in the chat. He hasn't been excited by Cross for a long time. You know, I will admit that we kind of thought the same thing. I mean, Cross is very classic. Those of us in a certain age range all received Cross ballpoints with our name on it. You know, from as a graduation or a high school or college graduation pen. And they're great, but they're thin, and they all look alike. The Peerless is definitely a completely different look.
Yeah, here it is again. Yeah, so it does have a resin section. It's not metal. Doesn't have a big step. It's very comfortable.
Yeah. Now this one is the platinum with the medalist trim, the gold trim. There's a platinum body with platinum trim, and there is a black resin with platinum trim. Yeah. There's also a gold one. We opted not to get that.
It was kind of blingy.
And expensive.
I mean, even for me, it was blingy. I don't know, but you know, and then they have a little jewel in the cap that's kind of subtle. So
those are nice.
So those are in. We're going to skip over number D in the list here real quick.
While
the big ink deal for the week.
Yep. While Brian was at work one day, this box just came in. The delivery guy just brought it. I signed for it. I wasn't expecting it, and the Montblanc Blue Hour ink came in. It's almost gone. We got quite a bit, but it's almost gone. So if you're thinking about getting some, get it now. I've got more on order, but we never get tracking from Montblanc, so things just.
I forgot we ordered it. Quite frankly,
whenever.
I forgot we ordered it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Blue Hour. Cool box. And it's
cool
the same.
box.
The bottle I happen to have this is an empty bottle from Montblanc Pink, which is the same bottle that JFK's in, and it's the exact same bottle that the Blue Hour's in. So it's a nice little, cute little bottle.
I just did a swab. We'll try and have that up sometime this week. It's really pretty, kind of a denim blue.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, gorgeous. So.
And I just wanted to note about 2 Saturdays ago, for those of you that follow us on Instagram, and I posted on Facebook as well. We had a gentleman come in whose father used to own a stationery store, and he had a number of pens left over from the store, new old stock Parkers, stickers, foil tags on the labels, in the boxes. It doesn't get any newer, cleaner than this. Yes, I still have them. No, I have not listed them anywhere. The plan is to try to get them up this week, but we'll see what happens. So, but just I know there are a number of people had expressed interest in, getting their hands 21s, Super 21s, 41s, 51s. I forget what else was in the lot, but
there's some cool stuff.
there was some cool stuff. We did one pen has been sold, but otherwise the rest is still there. Some nice stuff. You don't often see the foil stickers, especially for 41s and 21s. They're really kind of nice. So I mean, 21s that don't have cracks are amazing anyway, but these are cool. So those will be up soon, hopefully this week. And last but not least, some of you may have noticed that this past week, I believe it was on Friday,
I think so.
something went radio edit on the website. The Ackerman ink disappeared.
But it's still available.
So the long story short is Ackerman themselves are going to maintain control of being the only company online that will sell it online. We will still sell it, bring it to shows. We will still have it at the store. We still have samples, but in order to get it, they asked that we set it up so if you want some, you'll have to email or preferably call, and then we'll handle it over the phone.
Mm-hmm. So they were very nice. We can still get it, and they only have one pen show near them. So the idea that we go to between 12 and 15 shows a year just baffles them. I had a lovely chat with the head person at Ackerman, and it was very interesting. But the whole concept of shows is just foreign to them, the way that the U.S. does it. So they think it's interesting, I guess, that people go to shows and buy and sell and trade to the extent that we do. So we will still have it, and
Yeah, just if you're interested, there's a link in the phone number, of course, on the website. Just give us a call, and we'd be happy to facilitate that for you. So,
yep.
And samples, and if we have empty bottles, you can just ask and figure that out. So, which we don't. They're all gone.
Yeah.
So.
Carrie was asking about Tomo River. It's still on the way. Don't have confirmation of tracking yet, but
yeah, it's soon. Actually, I was looking at that today. I meant to. Good that you
take
mentioned
pictures.
That.
Yeah. Great stuff. So, and yes, Steph Ackerman is enforcing it U.S. wide.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You betcha. That was my first question.
So. Let's see. I think that's it for what's going on in the store. Now, a little bit note for next week. We are going to not have the podcast next week. Next podcast will be the following week, so we're going to do 2 weeks again. Apologies for those that are used to having it every week. Next week's exceptionally busy. We will be doing it Wednesday, July 22nd. We have obligations on Tuesday, the 21st. So,
actually, we have Mike and Audrey Madison coming up on Monday. We have dinner at an amazing restaurant nearby on Tuesday. My eye surgery is that Wednesday, then the podcast Wednesday night. We have Thursday off, and then Friday we go to Atlanta. So catch us on Wednesday, the 22nd.
Yeah, Wednesday the 22nd be the next podcast. Yep. And we'll remind you, I'll try to remind you next week that we're not going to have the podcast, but so anyway, that's it. Shout outs this week.
Big shout out to our good friend Tracy, who works at NASA and got yet another award. She's just on a roll.
She's on a tear.
Yeah, it's great. She's won a couple awards, and I don't know, she got a promotion or a raise, or I don't know. She's gotten a whole lot of different things, recognition from NASA. So I'm thinking that Tracy's going to show up at the DC and Dallas show like in a shuttle. That would be cool.
Get a shuttle.
Hey, those are pretty big. Then she could just help us load all the stuff onto the shuttle and just fly us back to Wisconsin. That would be so awesome.
That'd be quick. It'd
That
be like
would.
up
Wouldn't it be
and
great?
down, and then
I know.
we're all set.
We have an airport in Appleton, right?
We do, yeah.
Maybe not.
So
It's worth a try. So a big shout out to Tracy. Congrats. That is so cool.
what I forgot to mention
Uh-oh.
is you're gonna wanna tune in on the 22nd.
Oh, yes.
Because courtesy of our good friend Carrie from Fountain Pen Day, we are going to be having, and you know what, maybe we'll throw something else in there too. We're going to be having a giveaway. We're going to do some giveaways, and I don't know how we're going to do it yet, but present to win, I don't know. Well, we'll figure out how we're going to do it.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out, but we're going to have some giveaways, some cool stuff, and that'll be on the 22nd. So, anything else you want to do for this week?
No, I think that's it. It's been absolutely gorgeous here the last week, and so in the evenings we've been outside enjoying the backyard and the chipmunks and the squirrels and the birds and the flowers. So
it is flower season, so I hope you guys are doing the same. I guess if that's it, that's
use your
it.
pens.
Use your pens. Write to us at Anderson Pens, 10 East College Avenue, Suite 112A, Appleton, Wisconsin, 54911.
Or come and see us at the store. Wisconsin is beautiful this time of year. You can also check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and all other social media as Anderson Pens.
The blog, of course, blog.andersonpens.com.
And the website is andersonpens.com.
Make sure to check out social media for updates and new products and events in the store. Thanks so much for listening to our podcast. We will see you Wednesday, July 22nd. Have a good night.
Night all.